Uh, Hello, hi, all my Achievers 120, and I welcome to you, all of you, to my English class today. Students, today we are going to learn active voice and how to convert an active voice sentence into passive voice sentence. We know our annual examination has two papers in which the second part is almost comprises of functional grammar. And you know what? 16, 17, and 18 bit. These bits are really important, wherein we can score extraordinary marks there. If we lose, there will not be any score for our 10 GPA. You understand? So let us see how well we can do with this active voice sentences and how to convert that into passive voice sentences. Students. So first of all, what is the definition and how can we understand what is an active voice sentence? And look, students, like each and every sentence which we make, in each and every sentence, that is distinguished into a subject, an action, and also the receiver of that particular action by the subject, which is called object. So there will be a subject, there will be a verb, and also an object. So students, in some scenarios wherein we may not find object, like simple sentences wherein ends with the intransitive verbs. In that case, we cannot use this conversion. But let us see with a very good example. Students, Maria teaches English. In this sentence, first of all, let us see. This is a subject, which is the doer of the action. What action does it do here? That is teaching, right? Maria teaches what? Maria teaches English. So this English becomes the object here. And what is the action involved in this sentence? This, like say V1. Students, in this particular sentence, like subject has given priority, subject is given the preference of performing an action. Okay, so therefore, such sentences are said to be in active voice, wherein if the subject is the doer of the action, or can be said like performer of the action, which is received absolutely by the object. You got my point? Such sentences are called active voice sentences. When the subject in the sentence performs an action and that is received by the particular object which is at the end. All right. So such sentences are said to be in active voice. Let us see how we can convert this active voice sentence into passive voice. Students, we have three parts here. So let us make some particular involvement of exchange in the subject and object places. First of all, the first rule that we have to take here is conversion of object to subject, and also object subject to object. First step that we have to ensure, we have to change the placement of the subject to the object place and the object to subject place. Like this is a subject, so I'll have to take this subject to the object place. I'll write here Maria. Next, the object in the sentence that we are looking at replaces to subject place. Okay, the first step is done here. All right. Next, let us see the word form here, V1. Students, it is very, very important. You guys have to understand that there is a signature rule that we have to follow when we convert an active voice sentence into passive voice sentence. What is that? We have to turn any action or any word form given in the active voice sentence to passive voice by making it only V3 form. You all know which is called past participle. Past participle. So absolutely we cannot say any sentence in passive voice if we don't use V3. V3 is called past participle. Let us see. So teach or teaches, V1. So what is the V3 form for teach or teaches, which is in V1? Obviously taught. So I'll write here. Taught. This is a V3 form of the action. All right. So I just read once this sentence. English taught Maria. Does it make really sense, students? Like it is incomplete, right? We have to do something. So what is really missing in this sentence to make it an appropriate and perfect sentence? Like, you know what? The second part of the rule that we have done here is signature rule. We have changed the word form into V3. So the rule is done like V3. Next, third rule that I'm talking now is to place an auxiliary verb or a helping verb or a supporting verb. So we have here, as this is a present form of the sentence, we have three particular be forms: am, is, and are. These are the auxiliary verbs or helping verbs, or we can say supporting verbs, and also we can say be forms. As this is a tense which tells us about the present, talks about the present. So therefore, am, is, are. Am, is, are particular auxiliary verbs that we have to use in the present scenario for the present tenses. All right. So English is a singular. We cannot use am or we shouldn't use are. So what is the absolute auxiliary verb which helps us here is. Therefore, I write here is. Okay. So English is taught Maria. Is it make sense? Does it? No. So again, the last like auxiliary verb or use of auxiliary verb or be form, students. This is a third rule we have to use. And last, what is that? Appropriate preposition, which helps us to convert the active voice sentence into passive voice sentence, okay? Which is what? By. So hereby we have finished converting an active voice sentence into passive voice sentence. English is taught by Maria. English is taught by Maria. So the fourth rule that I have taken is preposition. What preposition? Like by. Students, most of the cases when we have particularly an object and a subject and that coordination which involves an action performance, there we have to use by. But in some rare cases, we don't use by. You understand? When there is no particular objects, or maybe sometimes the passive voice is used when the doer of the action is not known. All right. So this is how we have to convert an active voice sentence into passive voice sentence. This is the way. Look, students, like when we have to say this sentence is in already active, like passive voice. In this case, what I said, the performer of the action or the doer of the action is the subject, which involves here. Okay. And in this scenario, the subject, which is here, subject receives the result of the action. And this is how it matters. And here, this plays that role, and the sentence is called passive voice sentence. So please write down this. Note down in your classwork or take a screenshot, students. We have a lot more cases to look in. Okay, we have so many cases to look in. This is just a simple present sentence. Okay. Take a screenshot. Okay, I'm going to rub this board. Let us see another scenario. Okay, let us see another scenario. Let's look at this sentence, students. I eat apples every day. Like most of the students get confused, you know, why? They think that whatever the end of the sentence, the word which is there located is said to be object. It's not correct. Not the end word in a sentence is said to be object. Students, when you wanted to know the object, you have to question yourself. What you have to question yourself? You have to question that on whom the action is being performed. Who is taking the action of the doer? Who is receiving absolutely in a sentence? That you have to question. Look, I eat apples. I is the subject, very clear. And you know, the action performed here is eat. And who is taking the reaction here? Apples, not every day. This part is neglected here. Okay? This is just a predicate or the left-out part of the sentence. But what we need really, a subject, an object, and also a verb. When these are there in the sentence, then it can be absolutely converted into a passive voice. Okay. So see, students, according to our conversion of active voice sentence into passive voice sentence, like exchange of places or replacement of subject to object, object to subject. So I goes to the object place, which becomes me. Apples comes to the subject place, which remains this. So students, when we have pronouns in the subject place, the object pronouns are used in the object place. You never forget this. I became what? Me. We don't say I here. Okay? Me, which is the object pronoun. So apples, me, first part of the rule is finished. Next, second rule that we have to do is, like, what is the verb here? It is V1. So we have to convert this verb V1 to Past participle V3. What is the V3 form for eat? Is eaten. Okay, apples eaten me doesn't make any sense, right? So what we have to do, we have to ensure be form or auxiliary verb we have to take. What exactly suits here? Apples is the subject. Apples. So obviously what we have to prefer here are. Apples are. Okay. Next. Obviously what I have to take? Preposition by. So apples are eaten by me. Apples are eaten by me. This is how it goes on. Students, check it. This is the first case. These are simple present sentences. These are what? Simple present sentences. These are simple present sentences. The first sentence is also the same, and the second sentence is all the same. Simple present sentence. So after our finishing, let us go to the next form of the tense. Thank you. Now let us go. Take a screenshot of this, students. Okay. I hope you must have taken the screenshot, and I'm going to rub this case. Tharun is this is second case, students. This is the second case where Tharun is fixing the computer. What he's doing here? Tharun is fixing the computer. And you know what? When you look at this sentence, you have to note that this active voice sentence is in present continuous form. Okay? Like this is in present continuous form. This sentence is said to be present continuous form. So what we have to do here, what we have to do absolutely to convert this sentence, which is in active voice, to the passive voice. This is different from the examples that we have done just now, because those tenses are in simple present. This sentence is in present continuous form. So let us see what difference it makes here. Tharun and the computer. Tharun is the subject and computer is the object. All right. So fixing is a continuous form which is in V4. Like students, what is the first rule that we have to do here? We have to convert or the replace. We have to replace subject to the object place and the object to the subject place. So Tharun, I hear the computer, and the Tharun goes in the object's place. Tharun. So first part of the rule is finished. Next, like we have to do with the ing form. Like ing form is noted for B forms. BE. What are the B forms here? Am is are. Am is are. But it is quite different here. We have to ensure the action must be going on. So we take being. This is a word which is relevant in using this continuous form. So how the computer is singular? The computer is. This is the difference that we made from the simple present tenses. Computer is being Tharun. Is it correct? What is this? Fixing. Fixing has to be turned. Signature rule before. So obviously fixed. This is a weekly form. The computer is being fixed by Tharun. At the end of it, I have used a preposition. First, I have exchanged subject to object place, object to subject place. Okay. Next, you have to do with this verb form. What is the verb form we have used before? So whatever the verb form is in active voice, we don't care. Just we have to take the V3 form for the absolute verb form. So what is the V3 form for fix or fixing? Is fixed. So 1, 2 is completed. Now this must be ensured in continuous form. Therefore, I have taken the help of be. And auxiliary verb is quite common, you know. Auxiliary verb has to be taken. That is for sure. So the computer is singular, therefore I have taken is, and to ensure ing, I have used be, E-I-N-G, B-E-I-N-G. The computer is being fixed by Tharun. Computer is fixed by Tharun. Let us say another example, which makes you very clear. Okay. This is the passive voice. Let us see another example here. Girls are making pots. What are they doing? Girls are making pots. Girls are making pots. So students, listen. So what is the subject in this sentence? Girls. So I'll write here. End of the sentence. Girls. And what is the object in this pots? So I'll write here pots. So I have given the replacement of subject to object, object to subject. So first rule is done. What is the second rule? Like making. Making is there, which is before, But obviously we have to convert that into V3. So making becomes made, which is V3. Made is V3. Okay, next. As this must be ensured in continuous form, a new word is taken here. What is that? Being. And you know pots. For this auxiliary verb, we have to take singular or plural pots. Pots is plural. So therefore the plural B form is are. Pots are being made. The last rule, which is this is the third rule. And what is that? We have to use the appropriate preposition by. So here we go. Pots are being made by girls. Students, we have to do 2 more scenarios. I wanted you guys to focus on differentiating the simple present tenses and present continuous tenses. In present continuous tenses, we have to use being. But in simple present, there will not be used any being form. That you have to ensure. The rest of that is absolutely same. However, we have done with the present continuous. Now next, if you look at this, and you can watch my video in the YouTube once again. Okay, if you don't get the first itself, you can watch once again. But now, as of now, take a screenshot of these particular examples. All right. So the present continuous form is done. Now, present perfect form. So let us say they have posted the letters. They have posted the letters. Subject plus have plus V3 plus object. Obviously, this is present perfect. The sentence is said to be perfect case. This is a perfect case. So students, whatever the auxiliaries that we have used for the previous tenses are not applicable here. We have only have or has here. We have to ensure these, that's all. Okay, so let us see how to convert an active voice present perfect sentence into passive voice. Okay, so first rule, the same. We have to take the subject case to object case and object case to subject case. So here we have the subject they. They becomes, when it comes to the object place, them. They becomes what? Them. Next, the letters. So first rule is done. Subject to object, object to subject. Next, what I have to do? Obviously, this posted, what is the word form, whatever it's there, I have to be changing that into V3 form. What is the V3 form for posted? Is what you know, posted. This is the V3 form for posted. Got it? So in the perfect scenarios, in the perfect sentences, we have to use being. In the continuous forms, what we have used? Being. Don't get confused. Okay? So now, let us say, so for the letters, what is the auxiliary verb that we have to take the help? The letters is plural form, we have to take have. If a singular, we have to take has. But the letters is plural, therefore I have to take the letters have been. So this is a case, like third rule, have been. The letters have been posted. The last rule is by. This is the perfect form of passive voice. The letters have been posted by them. I hope you must have understood clearly. So this is a case to convert. So note down, students. Okay, so let's say one more example which has to impose the other auxiliary verb. Okay, so like we will say John. John has John has written an email. John has written an email, which is in absolute present perfect scenario. What is the first rule that we have to take here when we have to convert an active voice sentence into passive voice sentence? We have to shift the place of subject to the object place, object to the subject place. Okay, so this is how it is subject and this is an object. So therefore what we do, the subject has to convert into object, object has to convert into subject. So an email, here John. An email, John. So first rule finished. Second rule. What is the verb form that I'm talking about? I'm talking about written. So what is the V3 for the written? Absolutely, written is the V3 for written. This is the V3. So most of the students may be little lucky. So when it is in already perfect sentence scenario, so obviously the same word will be replicated or duplicated in the passive voice sentence. That you have to ensure. Okay, so V3. Next, what I have to do? The word which is used is been. What we have to use? Been. So an email is singular. Therefore, I have to take has. And so this is how it matters. An email has been written by John. So this is how we do to convert an active voice sentence, affirmative sentence, into passive voice sentence. And sir, what about present perfect continuous tense? Like fourth tense, present perfect continuous tense, is that sentence which is in that tense can be converted to passive voice? No. There are only sentences in simple present, sentences in present continuous, sentences in present perfect. Only these three kinds can be converted. There is no continuous perfect forms. Present perfect continuous tense sentences cannot be converted. Okay? Once again, I'll repeat sentence. Present perfect continuous tense sentences cannot be converted into passive voice. You know this part. Okay? So, simple present, we can do. Present continuous, we can do. Present perfect, we can do. But not present perfect continuous. Please note that. Okay, hereby we have finished. The next case we will see. Like these are affirmative sentences we have so far discussed. Let us see Uh, if some questions are asked in active voice sentences, can be converted to passive voice sentences? Yes, absolutely we can do. Let us make a question in simple present, like we are doing with the present form of the sentences. Do you speak English? This is a perfect question. Do you speak English, students? So how well we have to convert, and how can we convert this sentence into a passive voice sentence? Do you speak English? Never forget, students, don't answer the question, do you speak English? Yes, I do English. So sometimes this happens due to our conscience of answering the questions. So this is not the way. We particularly look at only the sentence. So you is the subject. So I will take you. This is the subject. Speak. Speak is the verb. So I'll take here. So here this is in V1 form. So obviously I'll take spoken. You is the subject. So therefore I have taken here you. At the end of that, subject has to be ensured in the object place. So that is how I done. So English has to come here. English spoken you. Does it make any sense? No, it doesn't make any sense. So what needs to be applied? Same in the first scenario, present simple, when we have done the present simple. What being forms are used? Am, is, are. What are those? Am, is, are. Am, is, are. These are used. The same way we have to use English. English is singular. We don't use am there, or nor we use are. So what is that? Well suited here. Is. So is English spoken by you. That is how we convert a question into the passive voice question. We don't answer here. Do you speak English? Is English spoken by you? Is English spoken by you? This is how we have to convert a question. Next, one more scenario. Like this question, we have used with auxiliary verbs do, does, did, we can do that. But we can ask questions in English language using what, where, when, WH questions. So let us see one more question which deals with WH. Which. What game do you like? Or here we can also use which game. Which game do you like? So you don't look at the placement of this particular subject and object. First of all, you is the subject, Okay, you is the subject. So always remember, students, not because of the place it carries, it is called as an object. Whether it is a performer of action or not, who is the performer of the action, who is the receiver of the action, that you have to understand. In this sentence, which game do you like? Which game do you like? You. The question is you. So you is a subject. So obviously I have to write at the end you. So game, I have to write here again game, which is an object. What is the main verb here? Main verb is like, which is in V1 form. I have to convert into V3. Light. What I have to take? Light. So, say which game is, like auxiliary verb I have to take by you. This is the answer. Which game is liked by you? You don't get confused here. You write only which. We will see more. Okay. So, which game do you like? Which game is liked by you? Which game is liked by you? This is how it ends up, students, asking questions. WH questions must be done in this way. Sir, say which is there in the first sentence. Like this is the first word and the same is repeated here. How can it supposed to be? Don't confused. I already told you. First, you have to ensure who is performing the action. You. Who is the receiver of the action? Game. So I have taken this you in the object place and the game I have taken into the subject place. Okay? And like is a main verb for which I have written V3. And you know, auxiliary verb what I have to take for a game which is singular. So I have taken is. Game is liked by, at the end you have to write the preposition. So which game is liked by you? This is how well answered for the present tense questions. Active voice questions into passive voice questions. I hope you really had a very good acquisition of knowledge related to the active voice sentences conversion into passive voice sentences and the questions. And you know what? Particularly, you have to keep remembering that present perfect continuous tense may not be converted into passive voice. It's not converted into passive voice sentence. That you have to remember. And thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Thanks a lot, students. If you have any doubts, re-click my class link sent by you. Like link is sent to you guys in your WhatsApp. So please do that and watch my videos once again. You will get to understand whatever the doubt that you have. Thanks so much. Bye.